Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Alain and this is a devlog for my game BattleJuice Alchemist. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something I haven't talked about a lot before, which is creating the narrative for my game. I will talk about how I write the backstory and the NPCs and also how I manage the dialogue system. And how I recently revolutionized organizing my dialogues. And it's gonna be a lot of fun because organizing things is always fun, I guess. So let's hop right into it. This devlog has a tradition of also being a kind of a show and tell where I bring you a little something and talk about it. Only this time the something is not so little. It is actually this 800-page brick of a book. And this is actually the backstory for my game. So let me elaborate a bit what I mean by that. In 2016, I started a pen and paper role-playing campaign for my close friends. And after we had played some months, I started making these little pocketbooks for them, where I summed up the story that had happened so far. And the books got bigger and bigger and longer and longer. And yeah, at some point, I even made this cloth maps for them, which they enjoyed a lot and I also enjoyed making a lot. So when this pen and paper campaign eventually ended, we decided that we want to put all these pocketbooks into one huge giant tome of a book that you could kill somebody with. And when I got really serious about making video games, I decided that the video game I'm making, BattleJuice Alchemist, would start where the pen and paper campaign ended. So technically, this is not written for BattleJuice Alchemist, but it is the backstory for it. I see such an extensive background as a great strength of my story, especially with regards to NPCs. Many of them have this super elaborate history so that I know how they talk or react, and I don't even have to think much about it. Speaking of NPCs, I just implemented Danielle, who is the chief of guard of Cherokee Creek. I had a lot of fun making her in 3D, but also writing the dialogues for her. And when doing that, I realized that it was time to up my game a bit concerning how I organize my dialogues. When I started introducing story to the game, I made this spreadsheet for my dialogue options, which worked out okay in the beginning, but it has quite a fatal problem. It is really difficult to understand the flow of the dialogues and which dialogue options trigger which events. So I decided to switch to a program called Twine. By the way, I'm not affiliated with the developer of Twine in any way. I just find the tool super useful and I highly recommend it. Twine is node-based and totally free to use, and after falling in love with it, I also added my quests to Twine, because quests are obviously interconnected with dialogues a lot. What's super cool about Twine is that it is basically a game engine for choose-your-own-adventure stories, so I can now play BattleJuice Alchemist as an interactive story too. If I had had such a tool as a kid, I probably would have spent months crafting RPG stories, and I think it's super cool I can use it now to manage the dialogues of BattleJuice Alchemist. So if you are writing branching dialogues too, you should really check out Twine. It's great to use, and I hope this devlog wasn't too dry like Grandpa telling his RPG stories. If you liked it, you can consider subscribing, and if you think my game BattleJuice Alchemist looks interesting, you can check it out on Steam, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye.